All happy? All are happy? சும்மா ஜாலியா இருங்க அவ்வளவுதான். They are not going to take anything from here. So be happier. Each day we have to spend happily. Okay. Shall we start? Om Sadashiva-samarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam Samasta-jana-kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma-vidvaram Shruti-smrti-purananam-alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat-padam Shankaram Loka-shankaram. Hari Om. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, he has written the book Tattva Bodha, preliminary book. Those who want to study Vedanta, for them this book is meant. First book, very easily you can understand. Many people are frightening us. Vedanta va? That is meant for intellectuals. You are going to Vedanta class? They try to pull our intellectual ability and interest in learning Vedanta. Don't hear all those words. They are jealous of your ability. Okay? So what kind of ability the intellect has? Aneka janma punya. Advaita vasana, pumsam advaita vasana. Ishvara anugrahat eva jayate. Ishvara anugraha. Extraordinary grace and blessings we should have to have taste for this Vedanta, particularly Advaita Vedanta. Ishvara anugrahadyeva pumsam advaita vasana. Aham brahmasmi. It's not very easy to understand Aham brahmasmi. So you have to be very careful. In the beginning, the time when you go and attend this kind of classes and search for this kind of truth, we should not discuss with our own relatives also. Yo, the way you are going, I think you become sannyasi. Be careful. You have family also, okay? It is not possible to become sannyasi. Not possible. It's very difficult. Therefore, they try to pull us as much as possible. So, no need to discuss great things with ordinary people. So, when we learn this kind of thing, this is meant for us. You listen, reflect, and we have to make our own path. When you come into party or relatives, all our friends, then you have to talk according to their subject. There you should not bring Tattva Viveka Prakaramakshyamaha, Vivekaha, Vairagya, all this. They will not send any invitation for any party. That's all. That is a last meeting with them. Okay? The practical world, we should know how to fit ourselves. The Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya, he starts. Tattva Bodha. So yesterday we have seen all this, the subjects. These are the subjects we are going to discuss. Invocation. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya. This is meant for Mumukshu. Mumukshu means one who wants to get liberation. Tattva Bodha Abhidiyate. Now we are going to explain Tattva Bodha. Sadhana Chatushtayam. This Sadhana Chatushtayam, this word, now you are listening this first time. This word you are going to get till Brahma Sutra. Suppose you go and study Brahma Sutra. What suppose? You will study one day. All the best, okay? One day you will study Brahma Sutra. In the Brahma Sutra also, they will start with Sadhana Chatushtaya. Throughout your life, we are going to use this Sadhana Chatushtaya. Fourfold qualifications. Okay, what are the fourfold qualifications? What is that? All four put together, one package. You cannot separate it. I have only Viveka, but no Vairagya. This complete packet. fourfold. Sadhana chatushtayam. This is called chatushtayam means four. Sadhana means qualifications. Vivekaha, viragaha, shamadhi shatka sampatti, mumukshutvam. We will see this. Discrimination, dispassion. These are the sixfold wealth. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya says this is sixfold wealth. Shamadhi shatka sampatti. Why this is called sampatti? So we have to earn. We have to spend time to earn this kind of qualities. Therefore, this is sampatti. We go to school, we go to university and we get degree. We are getting very nice job. Through the job, we get so much of wealth money. We are saving this money. When we die, our relatives will take away everything. This is our lifestyle. Wealth we earned. We made effort. We spend time. We spend our whole lifetime to get wealth. Other people are enjoying this after our departure. I know you agree with me. It's a universal fact. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya says here, hey, you spend time to get this kind of values. Spend time. Today, Ekadasi. So don't eat. At least 2 times. Without eating, I will die. If I don't eat 2 times, morning and afternoon, evening, I will see Lord Yama is appearing in front of me. Sorry, you have to practice. Vrata Pandal. So don't eat. Don't talk to anyone. Mauna Vrata. So slowly, we have to develop this kind of thing. People, they don't allow you. Hey, if you don't eat, your body will become weak. So the Atma is already weak, sir. You weaken the body to strengthen the Atma. Unine uruki, ulluli periki. So we have to work on the body, to pull the body down, to bring the Atma to the higher level. Because the mind is a mind control, sense control, observance of one's own dharma, endurance of joy and sorrow, faith in the words of Guru and Vedanta, single pointedness, all these things are values. So not only these 6 values are very important for this Vedanta, the path of Vedanta. Other than this also, we have to collect more values. The thing is, why Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya is calling this as wealth? Not only this, all other positive values, Daiva Sampat. Krishna is telling this Daiva Sampat. So one complete chapter is dedicated to explain. Daiva Sampat. Sampat means wealth. So Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya also says Sampat. Krishna also says Sampat. Sampat means wealth. We earn all the wealth, land, property, gold, everything. We do not know when we are going to die. When we die, definitely we are not going to take even single dollar also. In India and all, the dead body, they will keep one coin. Even this coin also will come to the cremation ground. Afterwards, the person who is doing the cremation, he will take away. We are not going to take any wealth. So this wealth, when we spend time and effort, when we die, we will take all the wealth with us. The Jiva will take all the wealth to the next Janma. There he will unfold. So whatever we practice, okay, that will come along with us. Vayur Gandhani Vashayad, Krishna says. How the wind takes the fragrance, the same way the Jiva takes the fragrance of values and goes to next Janma unfold. What a great thing, eh? Great suggestion. It doesn't mean that we should not have land, property, gold. We have to have land, gold, everything we have to have. We have to earn for this world and we have to earn greater values for other world also. So we have to split our time. How much time I have to spend to survive in this world? How much time, effort I have to spend for the next world? Next world means to get evolution. Is it okay? Yeah. There are three things. It's very interesting if you notice 3 things. In this world, the Bhuloka, earth, okay? The earth, you need to have money. Suppose you want to go to heaven. We need to have punya. Okay? If you want to get spiritual moksha, we want to have values. So the thing is, here we need to have money, wealth, okay? Wealth. Here we need to have punya. Here we need to have values. So we have to be very, very organized way of life. We should have organized way of life. Have some money, wealth to live in this world. Needed. If you do not have wealth, there is no space here for you. So we need to have wealth to enjoy this earthy, the worldly life. We need to have punya to go to heaven. Suppose I have little desire to see what is heaven. Then we need to have punya. Punya only will take us. Punya. If you want to get moksha, then we have to get the values, sampat. The interesting thing, here the wealth you can see, land, property, house, everything we can see. Punya you cannot see. Punya is very subtle. Values also we cannot see. But very stronger wealth is the values. Punya also will destroy. Kshine punya matyalokam vishanti. Krishna says you earn the punya. Punya is nothing but you are converting wealth into punya. When you do dana, so it becomes punya. Punya also one day will perish. It's impermanent. When you enjoy punya will be destroyed. So we have to come back. Therefore here, Vedanta says this is the permanent wealth values. Interesting, right? Interesting kind of analysis. So we need to get values more important. So we have to focus more on how to get good values. Because we never lose this value. Once we get the value, we never lose till we get moksha. Therefore, Krishna says it is Daiva Sampat. And this is what do you call Shat Sampat. So when we analyze and convince our mind, then mind will follow. Yes, we are right. Is it okay? Okay. Sat Sampati. And desire for the liberation. Okay, now, discrimination. What is the discrimination? So we are here, from here only we have to start our study. First qualification for Vedantic student, discrimination. My suggestion is, you should not think that I am living in family. I am a married person. I do not know is this fortunate or unfortunate, but married. Children. I have so many relatives, friends. I'm samsari. Sir, that idea is wrong. Okay? There is only one or two people can become that sannyasi and they go out of their family. 99% of this world, people are living in the family only. So that family is called dharma, according to Dharma Shastra. Grihastha dharma, grihestha. So you have to live in this family. So among the all ashramas, grihastha is the sreshta muchyate. Even Bharata also says in Ramayana. Manusmriti also says, Tirukural also says, grihastha dharma. You should not think that I am in very low place. We have to change the mindset. So this is a higher responsibility you are holding in grihastha dharma. It's not very easy to run the family. We are living alone, there is no problem. Getting up and do whatever you want, nobody is there to control you. You have a lot of time and you organize your time and you make your life. But Grihastha, yo, problem after problem, so many things. 24 hours is not enough for you, I tell you. Because 12 hours you have to worry. You have to sit on your in an easy chair and you have to worry. 12 hours, worry ke poidum. After that, then you have to start earning money, spending and saving. Too much of balance. So you should not think that I am living in that. So this kind of Vedanta is meant for everyone. Krishna, the Vedantic thoughts he has given, he married. How many marriages? I will not tell the number. Married. Krishna also married. And Arjuna also married. Those two people are Grihasthas. Talking about sannyasa. Topic sannyasa. Ahimsa. They are talking about ahimsa. After discussing ahimsa, Krishna says, kill this fellow. What is this? Just now you spoke about ahimsa. You have to understand the core idea of ahimsa, the core idea of sannyas. Okay, first we have to remove that kind of mindset. I am not meant for this. Everybody is meant for this path. If you have ability, that's all. If you have thinking ability, then this is meant for us. That's all. Krishna says, Padma Padram Ivambasa. You have to live in this world like the water and the lotus leaf. It looks very nice, pearl mother. The same way, when we learn this Vedanta, if you know how to practice jolly life, problems also will come, but the success also will come, failure also will come. You know how to handle it. How to handle the capacity we learn from Vedanta. Okay. First thing is discrimination, Viveka. The Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma Tad Vatiriktam Sarvam Anityam Ayameva Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. Viveka means discrimination. So instead of discrimination in foreign countries, my suggestion is use the Viveka as it is. By foreign countries, discrimination different meaning. So you can use Viveka as it is. Viveka means what? The reality alone, the eternal reality. Atma, Satyam. Everything is ephemeral, Mithya. Brahma Satyam, Jagan Mithya. This is the topmost discrimination. Bhagavan Ramakrishna Paramahansa again and again he repeats throughout his life. God alone, the real thing. Everything is unreal. Everything is unreal. The mindset we have to keep in our mind. That's all. And we have to do all our Vyavahara activity. While we are in the Vyavahara activity, we have to always remind the mind, everything is impermanent. This is called discrimination. That's all. So what happens in our life when we involve the Vyavahara, we take Vyavahara as the real one, the permanent one. No, everything is impermanent. This small thought, if it goes into our mind, impermanent. Small thought. See, morning comes, disappears. Afternoon comes and disappears. Evening also disappears. Night also disappears. So the Deepavali comes and disappears immediately. We got up and we took Ganga bath. We have made our own sweets. We have eaten, slept. When we got up, evening 5 o'clock. Where is Deepavali? Gone. Every festival comes and goes. Everything is flying in the time, the river of time. Vidyuchalam Jivitam. So nothing is permanent. The children were very small. They have grown. They went out of this house. That's all. Life is gone. So when understanding everything is impermanent, then we'll get slowly the balance in our life. See, the small mindset will bring greater transformation in our life. Okay? Then afterwards you can take this as everything is mithya. Everything is mithya is the highest form of looking at the world. First we have to understand everything is impermanent. This will not stay. Now you are happy. I know 5 minutes only you can be happy, that's all. Afterwards you will come to your own mood. Mode changed. So impermanent thing in this world. So we have to remember this. Brahma Satyam Nityameva Ekam Brahma. Ekam Brahma Nityam Tatvatiriktam. After other than Brahman, everything is Anitya. Okay. So how to practice this value? Everything is impermanent, that's all. Narani Dalagadda Jalamadi Taralam Tattva Jivitam Adishaya Chapal. Understanding this, we have to move in this world. We should not talk to our officers. Sir, I do not know how many days you are going to stay here. Only Lord knows, your karma knows. Now only our boss has come and he has taken the charge. Anyway, all the best, sir. I do not know how many days you are going to stay. Sir, that understanding is for us only. We should not talk to boss. So next day, boss will send us out of this company. This fellow is a very negative character. He is not giving me the wishes. He is giving me curse. First, we have to send this fellow out. Then you come out and you are telling, I studied Vedanta, I practiced, I am out of the company. Sir, you do not know how to apply it. Vedanta is meant for your evolution, not for others. Okay, with this understanding, when you go, we will not have deeper attachment with anything. Why? Everything is impermanent. Attachment will not come automatically. Once if you get discrimination slowly, so slowly attachment will get. The discrimination will leads to detachment. Okay, very nice value. This Saraswati Devi has got the swan. The swan, okay? This is a nice one. Saraswati Devi is goddess of learning. When you learn, the student must have the discrimination, the first quality. The student has a discrimination, then he is student. Otherwise, there is no student. So when we worship the goddess of Saraswati, she has got the swan. Swan is a symbol of discrimination. Viveka. What swan does? It separates milk from the water. The mixed milk and water both are mixed completely, and it takes milk from the water. Like this, we have to take permanent thing from the impermanent thing, the reality from the mithya. So that kind of subtle intellect, we should know how to discriminate, how to see the truth as it is, how to see what is truth and what is mithya. I tell you, this great quality, if you have, then we know how to discriminate the people also. How to find out with it. This man speaks all dharma, but there is no dharma in him. This man shows up very nicely. There is nothing inside. So when you develop this Vedantic quality, you become so sharp in the Vyavahara world. Because we are discriminating the high level. So discrimination ability we have, this ability we can apply wherever we live. This is the benefit of Vedanta, studying the Vedanta. You know how to discriminate. Situation also we can understand. People also we can understand. Problem also we can discriminate and understand. Our own thoughts also we can understand. Whether we compromise our values or not. We can apply that discrimination to our own mind. Brilliant quality. Okay. Therefore, our Devata has got this. See how meaningful the swan they kept for goddess Saraswati. Suppose Saraswati has got crow. So what is the connection between crow and Saraswati? She is the goddess of learning. See how our ancestors, they thought, rishis, munis, and they brought swan as a vehicle. Brilliant thought. Next value, the second value, viragaha. Viragaha means dispassion. Iha swarga bhogeshu icharahityam. Absence of desire for the enjoyments in this world and in heaven. So enjoyment. Absence of desire. Okay. The enjoyment of this world. The Bhuloka Sukham and Paraloka Sukham. If you come to India and you see the streets, particularly now you go to Chennai, everywhere water. In the home also they are catching the fish for evening food. No need to go and buy fish. Their own home they have fish. The conditions like that. No current, no power, nothing is available for their livelihood. They are suffering like anything. What is that? All water, sewage water and the fresh water mixed and the hotel. You cannot wash your cloth. Inna karmamo. What kind of karma I have done in the Purva Janma to live this kind of place in Chennai. Okay. So when your relatives are there in Chennai, they will be talking to you. I would have come to there with you. My mother only stopped me. Therefore, I'm suffering in Chennai. You see some places, they are looking like Narakam, hell. And you go to some foreign countries, the road, the house and the system, the rules and regulation. Even in this world also, the Bhuloka also, some countries are what that they are keeping this as a heaven. I know you agree with me. Even though we are living in heaven, but we do not get that kind of happiness. I do not know. That means that we have some kind of problem in the mind. Even the external, the surroundings are very good. Pakka surrounding. But you do not know how to enjoy this. That is also there. Now, See, you are living in a very nice, all systematic country, everything, no neat, perfect rules and regulation. Okay, everything is there. Now the colors are coming. We do not have that kind of mind to enjoy the kind of external thing. Even though we are living in a heavenly world, we do not know how to enjoy that. Hell inside. Worries. Okay? Now trees are getting colored, very nice color, brown color, red color, yellow color. Even in this world also you can see heaven. Then what to talk about heaven, the direct heaven. Yeah? And these jivas are having the desire to enjoy in this world and in the heavenly world. And they want to go to some foreign country, settle and enjoy there. That kind of mind we have. Okay, that kind of the desire for enjoyment we have to drop. That is called viraga. I hope you are getting it. The desire for enjoyment, desire for the enjoyment. I want to get this to enjoy. Life and enjoy pananamba. Enjoy. 15-year-old, from 15 year 25, we have to enjoy. This is their slogan. We are here to enjoy. Enjoy means what? Drink as much as possible, sleep as much as possible, and whatever comes on your way, just enjoy. There is no limit, there is no control. This is called enjoyment. They understood this is enjoyment. Then after some time, they get so much of disease all over the world, they suffer, they die. Why you died in 35 years? You are 35-year-old. Why you come to Yamaloka? I enjoyed everything, Lord. He is telling Lord Yama. Enjoyment means what? This is what they understood. All sense pleasure without control, indulging in it. That is not enjoyment. But the jiva is understanding this is what enjoyment. So this kind of desire we have to drop. So dropping this kind of desire is called viraga. Okay, now we have a problem, some problem. Dispassion means what? Viraga. Now I am studying Vedanta. I become Vedantic student. Hereafter I practice viraga. Okay, ice cream has come. Take this ice cream. Only water is enough. Fruit salad. Hey, take the fruit salad. Give me juice without sweetness in that. Okay. Because we don't want to enjoy anything. Hey, no sugar. Coffee, no sugar. This is our understanding of dispassion. A very nice bed sleep. No, I will sleep on the floor. Why? Viraga Purusha. Wear very nice dress. No, simple dress you give me. Why? Viragam. Vedandi. You come in this car. Oh, BMW. No. Ordinary car. A second-hand car. Are you getting it? This is what we understood viraga means. And relatives have come to your house. You talk to them. Okay, ask them to sit. Then you will come from first floor. Right? Like Devata will come. Slowly will walk. Why? Viraga Purusha. I'm not having any interest in this world and heavenly world. So I walk very slowly. So from fifth step, you look at this relatives and smile. And they are looking at you. What happened to this fellow? Any mental problem, some upset? He comes. Slowly you come and say, because you have to maintain the peace also. The mind has got peace, you have peace. And slowly, how are you? How is your families? They started getting some kind of that different view. Till yesterday, you were very nice only. What happened to you? Because yesterday I attended one class, today also attended one class. Some kind of transformation I brought. Hereafter, I don't want to attach a desire to enjoy anything. So now itself, today itself, I started practicing dispassion. Okay, we are moving. Okay, thank you. Move. Why? Dispassion. Sir, this you are not understanding properly. What is dispassion? Dispassion means what? The desire to enjoy. When things are coming on the way, when ice cream they are giving you, have it, that's all. Fruit salad, they have it. The good for your body. When we have this salad, on the way we are getting small taste, that's all. When we have like that, on the way we are getting some taste, okay, don't attach with that kind of taste. Desire, virag, that's all. They give you very nice clothes, I wear it. But when you go behind that particular thing and we want to get that, then we disturb ourselves, disturbing others. The viraga. I hope you are getting. Viraga means what that? Not attaching with the desire. Attachment is not there, okay. That means what? Right relationship with things and beings. Right relationship or refitting the relationship, the wrong kind of relationship, we are correcting it and refitting it is called viraga. That's it. No raga. We are not, dispassion means we are not hating anything. Yeah. So what we understand, why you why you are hating the life? Life is very beautiful. God made this creation very beautiful. Everything has its own glory. So what he wants us to understand this. Everything is impermanent. Everything will come and go in your way. When it comes, just take it. When it goes, say bye. When it comes, hi. When they go, bye. Same sound. So not having so in our case, dispassion means dull. You are showing, oh, I am dispassionate, very dull. Sir, that is tamasic quality. When you get knowledge, your mind is very clear, then you are a very happy person. You know how to deal things and beings. Simple. So Vedanta means a highly positive person. When we understand this idea, we become so positive. But I have seen many spiritual people, they will not talk to us, they will not smile, they will walk away. Not Buddha. What kind of understanding? Discrimination is an impermanent thing. It should happen inside. Viraga means not having attachment. Attachment means what? Right relationship with things out there. If you understand everything is impermanent, we know how to not to attach. That's all. The viraga exactly immediately follows discrimination. The people, those do not have discrimination, they will not have viraga. If you have discrimination, viraga comes automatically. When you buy discrimination, viraga is free. Buy one saree, get two sarees free. The same way. When you get discrimination, viraga is free. Okay? Not vigata raga, not having desire for enjoyment. We are not going behind enjoyment. When enjoyment comes, they are asking you to sit in this nice sofa. Sit. That's all. When it comes, just to sit, that's all. Oh, viraga, I will not sit. Bring only plastic chair. Sit. While we are sitting on that sofa, we know that impermanent. After a few minutes, they will ask you to get up. Okay. With that understanding, when we use the things, viraga, that's all. Okay. So we get viraga. No. So some people, they go to the US in the consulate to get visa, US visa. I have seen many times. The person will stand higher than you. You will be standing there. The position he stands there, you feel very low. That kind of psychology they use it. When you go there, you feel whether they reject my document or they approved. Why are you going? Why I am going there? You forgot all the answers also. The way they ask you a question, somehow you are accepted. Visa is given. You are so happy when you come out. Hey, happy. They reject and they cry. I have seen many people in the office. They start crying. Why? Because I understand this is a heavenly world where I have to go. If they reject me, I cry. Sir, you are a great person. If they give you a visa, then go and live there. Otherwise, just live here itself. That's all. So I want to get that kind of desire for the enjoyment is raga. We have to drop it. So mindset should be there. So you are a great person. You go and you make the country great. That's all. Not the country is great and you are going enjoying it. You are a great person. Why you are crying? When your karma is there to suffer there, go suffer. Otherwise, suffer here itself. Anyway, both are same then. Whether you are suffering here or both there. So our karma, we have to take it. So go there and tell your things. This is my document. If you give, I will go. Otherwise, leave it. You have other job here. Simply, people are behaving like this. What kind of mindset they have? The desire for enjoyment. This is what Vedanta says, you have to drop it. Other than the cheap kind of buddhi, we have to drop it. Viraga. Viraga means not showing ourselves very serious and very depression. Sir, if you get viraga, then you are the happiest person, not depressed one. Okay? Samadhi Shatka Sampatti Ka. What is the sixfold quality? Six or the Sampatti. Six kinds of wealth, Sampat. Shama. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, Chaiti. 6 qualities. Sama, okay? Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Sama. All are given in Sanskrit word. We will see one by one. All 6 wealth. The first wealth is mind control. Shama. Shamaha. Shama means mind control. Mastery over the mind. We have a dog in our home. We can control it. I'm not telling dog. Pet. I told a few places the dog, pet. They corrected me. They should not say dog. In Tamil, it's very, very awkward to tell. English is okay, dog. In Tamil, you should not tell. They get angry. Then you have pet. You have control over a pet. Whether it's cat or dog, we can control it because you have the structure. We can see physically. If you see something, you can control. This is mind control. So, what is his mind? Mind is like wind. Krishna, Arjuna says, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balavadridam tasyaham nigraham manya vayorva sudushkaram. How to control the wind? Wind is very subtle. Mind is subtler than the wind. How to control it? Great task. So we slowly we have to bring the control over the mind. This is lifetime job. So when you start doing this, this is called Mano Nigraha is called Shamaha. Shama means Mano Nigraha. Slowly we have to start. Somewhere we have to start. Okay. This is first got the value. Second, Damaha Chakshuradi Bahendra Nigraha. Damaha means sense control. Mind we cannot see, but sense can be controlled because it's a little, what do you call it? You can see the sense organ, so you can control the sense. Damaha, Damanam, Chakshuradi, mastery over the external sense organ. Chakshuradi means eye and other sense organ. Bahi Indriya, this is the external Indriya, so you can control it. Okay? So mind asks, I need to have masala dosa. It should be in this color. Masala should be in this color. Put more masala. Bring it. Hot dosa. Mind says. First dosa is gone. Second dosa comes. That also gone. Third dosa, you have to tell your mind, no, stop it. You have class, stop it. Otherwise you will sleep, you will miss the class. Third dosa comes, their mind says, I want to take it. So even the mind says, I want to take it, you can tell your tongue, control it. Again and again, I'm telling you, control. We can control the mind by controlling the tongue. Okay? Sometimes what happens in our home, when somebody is talking something very badly, you get anger. You are becoming slowly angry. 10%, 20%, when the limit crosses, I am seeing you. Okay? This is the limit. Otherwise, I do not know what will I do. We also start. So what happens if you are not able to control our anger, immediately we'll get out from that place. I've seen many places happen like that. If we do not know how to control our mind, at least we can control the sense organs. Quit the place to avoid the problem. This is called Damanam. So the subtle mind, it's very difficult to control. Then we can start controlling the sense organs. When you control the sense organ, this will have effect on the mind. Okay, Damanam means sense organs, sense control. This is the picture you studied in Kathopanishad. The 5 sense organs are, or the reins, the rope are connected to the 5 sense organs. The rope is mind. The charioteer is buddhi. Through the buddhi only we have to have the control over the mind. Through the mind, we can control sense organs. This picture is very symbolic picture. The third one is uparati. Just I'm giving the information, but these are all lifetime project. Mind control, sense control, lifetime project. But we have to do it. But I was there in one island, Reunion Island, that is a French island. I was talking this because I have to conduct the class, our own people. When I was discussing this mind control and sense control, they were telling that when I control the mind, when I control sense organs, I feel suppression inside. So that suppression is disturbing me. Therefore, whatever I have feel, okay, I will express and I will fulfill that. So I am very free. They are telling their own philosophy. So whatever you feel, if you do it, you are very free. Sir, whatever you feel, you do that, you become under the category of animal, sir. Animal doesn't have buddhi. Whatever they feel, they do it. When you feel anything, if you do it, anything, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, masada, whatever you feel, just you tell outside. And if you do that, you become so empty. From that emptiness, the evolution cannot come. So the Atma will not unfold. The unfoldment of the divinity will not happen. You see the difference. Whatever I feel, I enjoy, I will do it. Then the unfoldment of the Atma will not happen. But all these animalistic values inside, kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, when you fight with that, when you bring the control, slowly the divinity started blooming. We become saintly person. Evolution will not happen. So if you have doubt on this, mind control and sense control will bring suppression. That I am suggesting you go to 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 18 slokas of Sthitaprajna Lakshana. You read the commentary of Swami Chinmayanji. Commentary. So he is bringing all kinds of discussion. Is it suppression or sublimation? Sublimation means we have to fight over the thoughts and the sense organs. We have to control. When we bring the control, when we bring sense organs and mind under control, so many years we have to spend, so many effort, so many times. So many times we fail, but at that time we should not worry. It's okay, one more time, one more time, one more time. The day you are having a vratam, I am not going to get angry today. Okay? You have taken resolution that, hey, today I am going to maintain the Shantata. You are coming from Puja Hall. With the Chin Mudra also. I do not know why you are having Chin Mudra coming. When we come out of this Puja Hall after the Puja today, Ekadasi day, I am not going to get angry with it. And the first person you see. What? Why you are looking so happy? Because I'm not going to get. I want to maintain peace, Shanti. You? Yes. Hey, don't make joke, yeah. I have seen you. Short temper number 1%. Short temper. You are very short temper. You cannot. Suddenly you get, no. You should not discourage me, okay? Slowly the anger starts. I know your father, your mother, your whole family is like that. Immediately we break, then you talk about me only. Please don't talk about my family. I do not know what will I do. Now we have broken our vrata. We have started fighting with the person. I do not know who is that person who is asking you the question. Finished. Vrata is over. We start breaking all the things there in the home. Why? We cannot touch that fellow. Therefore, we start breaking everything. Vrata must go. So like that only when we start or practice something, problem will come. It's okay. Next day you start like that. So when you start something, the problems will come. Oh, keep on trying. Till we get the success, we keep on trying. So many years we have to spend. No need to worry. The third point is Uparama. Uparati. Third wealth. Uparati means Swadharma Anushtanameva, observance of one's own duty. Whatever the duty is given by the Almighty Lord, we have to do it. So Lord is placed us in some place. This is the country. This is the language you have to speak. This is your height. This is your weight. Okay. This is your color. So this is the amount of hair you have to have on your head. That's all. This is the nose. This person will be your wife. This person will be your husband. I don't like this fellow. No other go. Your karma only decides. Okay. My children should be like this. Children are totally different. I got in every examination, I used to get 90, 100, but my children only 0, 0, 0. Nice people. I don't know from where they have come. This is the karma. This is the country. And this is the place, the work have been given to you. In this janma, you may be engineer, you may be lawyer, you may be doctor, whatever the profession is given, you have to do it. That's all. Where God placed us, we have to be there and we have to do our duty for the welfare of the society. That's all. With that understanding, we have to do. So what we understood, service or what do you say? The community service. We say community service. So go to office and come back. Sunday and Saturday, we go to some place and we serve. We are telling that this is community service, sir. Saturday, Sunday, you are going to some place and you are serving this community. That is not community service. From morning till evening, you are working in a company. Through the company, you are giving your best to the world. That's all. Here, Vedanta says that itself is greatest service. Krishna also says the same thing. Hey, Arjuna, you are in the Kurukshetra war field. Take your bow and arrows and you start fighting. This is the service to the world. Loka Sangraham. So our understanding of service, every Saturday, Sunday, I go to some ashram or some temple, I clean the temple, I serve. That is also needed, okay? Because this kind of organization is needed, this kind of help from volunteers. Yeah, I'm not telling that is wrong. But we have to understand the place where we are living. The family duties. We are taking care of our families. That is greatest community service. Suppose, are you okay? Something happened. The views changes. Somebody has touched something. Okay. Don't touch it. Don't. The thing is, what we understand about community service is totally different. What Krishna says, your life, if you are in the family, take care of family. Suppose you leave the family and go to community service, the family people are suffering. You are spoiling the community by not taking care of your family. I hope you are getting it. So God has given you this family, take care of the family. God has given you this kind of, or go to company, serve the company, serve the society through the company, serve the society through the family. That's all. And if you have extra time, then you go and serve in an ashram or a temple. Are you getting it? So what we understand that going to temple, going to ashram and serving them is a service, other things are samsara. Sir, our understanding is wrong kind of understanding. I live in a family, samsara. I go to office, that is samsara. I go to ashram and a temple, this is spirituality. I hope you are getting the point. Sir, temples are giving you the strength. Ashrams are giving you the strength, the message. Keeping that message, how to run the family, how to work in the office. So we have to set this kind of that mindset. Many people I have seen, they're not taking care of family. They're not doing their work in the company. As much as possible, they take leave, they go to temple and they clean that floor and they clean the vessels there and they clean everything. Why? Service to the community. Sir, if you have extra time, you can do it. Otherwise, your profession itself is greatest service to the country. In the company I'm holding this the position. Through that position, you have to serve the company, serve the nation. That is called Swadharma Anushtanameva Uparama. Focusing our that mind on the work, dedication towards the work, then the creativity will come. Then we will change, bring greatest change in the community. Taking care of family, taking care of professional life is dharma. That's all. I hope you understood. So when you become a spiritual student, the religious person, our understanding about this kind of work is totally different. So community service means serving the family, taking care of family, serving the community through our professions. That's all. This is called Uparama. The third one is Titiksha. The fourth one is Titiksha. Sitoshna Sukha Dukkha Adi Sahishnutvam. It is endurance of heat and cold, pleasure and pain. Endurance. It doesn't mean that I don't feel cold. Everywhere snow is falling. I don't want blanket, take it. Take this blanket. Sweater, take it this. Only one shirt is enough. I can walk on the road without chappal. Why? Endurance of heat and cold. Again, misunderstanding. Sir, body has got some dharma. You need to protect body. If you do not protect properly, you will get cold. Cold will go to the extreme level also. So you have to wear the cap. And all the cloth you have to wear properly. There is no wrong in having all kinds of the cloth or the equipments, you cover the whole body. This is needed. Because cold has, or the snow has got an effect with the body. That will affect the body. And then when you go in the heat, then you have to have a different cap and sunglass. I don't want sunglass, take it. No cap. I will walk in this sunlight. Why? Endurance, Titiksha. Titiksha means mental quality. When you have heat, when you have cold, you protect your body according to the heat and cold. Okay? The thing is, inside the mind, we should not feel, are you cold? Are you heat? That should not be there. This is called endurance. Accepting mentally that, yes, this is the nature of heat. This is the nature of cold. Not talking so much about heat and cold and what that criticizing cold, criticizing heat. Have it in your life. Cold will come, heat will come, and we have to have everything to protect the body from cold and heat. That's all. Mentally, we should know how to accept it. This is called endurance. Are you getting it? So in the same way, pleasure also will come, pain also will come. When pleasure comes, we are happy. When pain comes, we are very sad. So pleasure also we have to accept, pain also we accept, keeping our mind in balance. That's all. This is called Titiksha. You're getting it? Titiksha. Accepting everything as it is. So this we have to, I have seen many people, they are not having any heat and cold. They expose their body. So this is foolish kind of thing you are practicing. Cover your body. Because body has got a dharma. So this is mental dharma to understand and accept the truth of life. Yes, everything will come. I have to accept it. Accepting, or this is called endurance. Tamil. Endurance. For the endurance means what? If somebody is talking, so we will accept. For 10 minutes we will accept. After 10 minutes we will break up. That is not endurance. I will accept only 10 minutes. Afterwards I will break. That is not endurance. Endurance, we have because of discrimination. Because of viveka, the knowledge, when you have, that is called the endurance or titiksha. Getting it? With understanding only, not under pressure. I'm controlling myself because I'm giving respect to my father. If my father is not there, I do not know what will happen here. Okay? Father is giving pressure to practice value. Mother is giving pressure to practice value. There is no father, there is no mother. From my own value system, I know how to control myself. That is called endurance or titiksha. Okay? Shraddha Kidrishi. What is Shraddha? Shraddha is Shraddha. You just try to understand Shraddha as it is. Faith is not good translation. Faith means totally different. I have faith on you. Faith nambike. So when you have faith, it will change definitely. Shraddha is different from faith. But no other word to translate. Therefore, we have translated as faith. But Shraddha as it is, you have to understand. Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwasaha Shraddha. Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Vishwas. Vishwasa means with faith. Yeah. Shraddha. Faith in the words of Guru and Vedanta. So we have to accept Guru and Vedanta Vakya. Not blind belief. They have seen. The Guru has seen the Atma and Brahman. They experienced Vedanta as the book explaining all the truth about all the facts about the truth. So Vedanta Gurus, they are talking completely the truth. So that kind of the Shraddha we should have on them. There is no doubt in Guru, there is no doubt in Vedanta. Vedanta is very innocent text. Innocent text speaks only the truth. It doesn't have any inner meaning to spoil our life, I tell you. Suppose the bestseller book or the writer, when they write something, they want to get money and popularity. There are so many books in the market. How to influence the people? How to push the book? How to get money? How to get popularity? There is no intention behind these Vedantic books. No need to sell at international level. Every Vedanta book, no need to sell. Vedanta is meant for the man to get out of his own worries and the samsara problems. Okay, there's no money-making book or Vedanta. You're getting it? So we have to have faith on that. Faith and Guru. Guru, the person who has seen the Atma, Brahma Darshana, he comes and tells. There is no purpose behind this, his message. Innocent, pure heart. All the Gurus, the realized souls are innocent and pure heart people. Vedanta is very innocent book. There is no wrong kind of intention behind any Vedantic text. Okay? When we understand this, then we can follow these people. Following Guru, the realized master, following Vedanta, we follow. How you are following it? You do not know what is moksha, what is Brahman. You never had darshan of Brahman. Simply you are following these two people because I know this man's intention is pure. Vedantic book is very pure. I know they are very, very innocent, very, very pure and very knowledgeable. I follow. If I follow them, I will reach the destination. This is called faith or Shraddha. Getting it? Suppose I see the Paramatma, I have seen the Paramatma, I don't want Guru, I don't want Vedanta. Why? I have seen the goal. Now, I do not know what is goal, but I can understand these people, they never deceive me, they give me right direction. Definitely, if I follow them, I will reach that place, which I do not know. This is called Shraddha. Okay? Not blind faith. Getting it? Faith means what? I have faith on you. I know you will give me money. This is called faith. Here we will fall. The ordinary faith, if you have in the world, we will fall definitely. Because people do not have that kind of stability to protect the faith. I hope you are getting it. So Shraddha means when Guru says follow it. When Vedanta says follow it. Definitely these two people will not guide wrongly. Okay? Their guidance is perfect. So keeping this kind of The mentality in these two people, when you follow, we will definitely reach the goal. This is called faith. Or Shraddha. Okay? GPS instrument nowadays. You have in your car. Oh, take right. You have reached destination on the right side. Oh, this is correct. Exactly it takes. Just we follow GPS in the car, we just follow this and it takes to the destination. This is called Shraddha. Getting it? So Guru and Vedanta is a text, Guru is an experienced person. So these people are like GPS. Now it's a very nice kind of example we can get from the modern world. How we have faith on GPS. Complete surrender to the GPS. Take left, okay. Take right, okay. Go straight, oh, okay. We never doubt this GPS, okay? This is the GPS we see in our eyes. And this is a GPS, very subtle kind of GPS. Guru's words and Vedanta, subtle kind of. We need to have different discrimination to understand. Yes, these people are right. Will you doubt Ramana Maharishi? Doubt ever other. What kind of innocence today? Will you doubt Swami Vivekananda? Just follow whatever he says, that's all. Ramakrishna Paramhansa, in the picture itself, totally divine and innocence. Ramakrishna Paramhansa. Will you doubt Bhagavan Vedavyasa? In truthfulness. He writes everything. Valmiki, doubt. No doubt on Valmiki, no doubt on that. Will you doubt Gurudev Swami Chinmayanji? Tapovan Maharaj will doubt. Whenever I see Tapovan Maharaj, I have doubt on him. He is not the right person. How he sits so innocent. Very innocent. Great saints. You see these people, we never met. But when you see Ramana Maharishi, Swami Vivekananda, Ramakrishna Paramhansa, the divinity and the innocence. Innocence means childlike. There's no bad kind of intention behind their words. Just to follow them. How you are following. Here I have faith. Shraddha, 100%. But when you come to Vedanta and the Guru, the same, we do not know what is destination, but we believe this, we follow this, we reach the destination, same way. Guru Vedanta Vakyadishu Shraddha. Vishwasam Shraddha, okay? Our Gurudev says, what is Shraddha? Shraddha is not blind faith. So what we are talking in the mundane world, the ephemerical world, that's faith is totally different. If you have faith on the person, definitely the person will pull you down. That is called faith, or the blind faith. As it is generally understood. This is not, Shraddha is not faith, okay? Fine. It is very clear in the definition of the Acharya that Shraddha is a healthy attempt at a clear intellectual appreciation. Intellect is there. We appreciate it, but the thing intellectually, the buddhi is there. Of the secret depths of significance underlying the words of scripture and teacher. We analyze teacher intellectually, we analyze text intellectually, then we come into conclusion. This is called Shraddha. So in the Shraddha, the intellect is there, the buddhi is there, understanding is there. Getting it? We never fall when we take the Shraddha. Why? I believe this man. I believe the text. When I follow, I definitely reach there. You getting it? This is called Shraddha. In Shraddha, there is no falling on the road. But in the faith, if you have to give me money or $20,000, I am just believing you, I will come here. That person will run away from you. This is called faith. Worldly faith will pull us. We will fall. I don't know, only Lord should save me. Oh Lord, I believe you only. Why you believe Lord? You're getting it? When you become so religious, we become so faithful oriented. God is not giving. We lose our faith. We convert from one religion to other religion. Why? I asked this God. I believed him. He never helped me. Therefore, this God doesn't have power. I go to other God. Why? Our understanding of faith is totally different. What is faith? What is Shraddha? Intellectual appreciation of scripture and a teacher. Different value. Shraddha is very, very different value and you are very intellectual. I do not know how to tell, but you have to understand the supreme value. So what we are talking faith, superficial. Shraddha, brilliant value. A very interesting value. I can tell. Brilliant value. You are so intellectual. You go to a temple, oh Lord, please give me. If you don't give me, it's okay. Why? I know all because of my karma, everything is happening. It's okay. So in our life, what is faith? I completely depend on you. Oh Lord, if it does not happen like this, I will commit suicide. I will finish my life. Okay. So God is not giving. Our faith also we lost on the God and we do something. Some kind of poison we took. Instead of poison, we took payasam. And they have taken us to hospital. After half an hour, we are getting up. What? So instead of poison, you have taken payasam, therefore you come to home. Small mistake. Faith on the ordinary value. So that kind of faith is not discussed here. Shraddha, intellectual appreciation of scriptures and Guru. I follow you, I will reach the destination. This guy. GPS, the best example. Okay. Tatastita bodhayanti guravo shrutayaha. All this Guru and Shruti, the scriptures and teacher, they will stand on the shore of the ocean and they will show the direction. You take the boat, go to this direction, you will reach the other side of the ocean. Tatastita bodhayanti guravaha shrutaya. Shruti and Guru. Prajnaya eva taret vidwan. So we have to have our own intellectual ability to understand what is Guru and what is scripture. Prajnaya eva taret vidwan. Vidwan Purusha has to cross the ocean of samsara. Ishvara anugrahitaya, Ishvara anugraha. Your own intellectual ability and Ishvara anugraha. Both should be there with you and you have to cross the ocean of samsara. This is what Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya says in Viveka Chudamani, 476th sloka. This is called Shraddha. You have your own ability. You have thinking ability and Ishvara anugraha is there. And Shruti and Guru, they are standing in the other shore and they'll show you, go in this direction, that's all. Having faith, their words, if you go, definitely will reach there. Why? They never show you the wrong path. This is called faith. Nobody destroyed themselves by listening to realized master's word and scripture's word. We have seen. Nobody destroyed. Okay. So we have gone and we destroyed ourselves because of this man showed the path and these scriptures. So we have to blame the scriptures and Guru. They only showed the path. I destroyed myself. We can blame them. But it never happened in history. These people are very great. This is called Shraddha. Shraddha means intellectual appreciation of the goal and following these people. A very great value. So if you contemplate on this value, you will appreciate. Wait, what kind of value they brought? Shraddha. Brilliant value. Okay. Samadhanam kim, single pointedness of the mind. So you have to bring the single pointedness of the mind. When you sit in the japa, when you sit in meditation, single pointed. Try to avoid all other things. Rama, 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 Ramasamy will come. That Ramasamy, that party, what this fellow has done. So Sami we have to cut, only we have to focus on Rama. Okay. In the meditation, in the japa also will come other thoughts. Yeah, slowly, you have to take it away. Single pointed. Now see, our Arjuna was looking at this picture in the Mahabharata war. They're looking at the neck of the bird. So he told that I don't see you. Oh, Dronacharya, I am not seeing you. I'm not seeing the tree. I'm not seeing the branch. I'm not seeing the bird also. I'm seeing only the neck of the bird. This is called single pointedness. Our focus should be on the subject. Our focus should be on the goal. This is called single pointedness. This is needed for Vedantic student. Okay? Focusing our mind on the subject. This is very much needed because we need to listen the text. We need to reflect the text. We need to sit in the meditation. So this is very important quality of bringing we have this ability. The single pointedness, we have the ability. Only when we watch movie, the thrilling movie, single pointedness. If you come to India and family serials from morning 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock, they sit in front of the TV. Hey, he's coming behind, TV serial. This man is telling, he's identifying himself with the TV. Hey, he's coming behind you. Hello, that is TV. You sit yourself, watch. Full focus. That focus we have to have in, we understand very easily. Focus of mind and watching movie, watching TV serial. The same. There I get focus, but here I am not getting focus. That's another problem. You have to get the test for the Vedanta. Then you have to get single pointedness. Okay. Mumukshutvam ki moksho me bhuyat iti ichha. I have to get moksha, the intense desire to attain moksha. Okay. Now, sir, ichha means desire. Okay. Here, desire is what Vedanta says you have to drop the desire. Now, Vedanta says this also desire only. So, this kind of desire is called mokshutvam. The technical name is given to this ichha. The ichha, which is the desire which is pulling us from the goal, is called a desire. We have to drop that kind of desire. The desire which is taking us towards the goal is not desire. So, name is mumukshutva. Ichha only. Name is technical. Okay. When we wear chappal, that is chappal. When Rama wears this chappal, that is paduka. We cannot say, bring my padukas. Padukas. We never say, bring my paduka. When Rama wears, when the Gurudev wears paduka, then we wear, okay? The ichha which is bringing us down is not desire. The ichha which is taking us higher level, mumukshata. Mumukshata, the fourth quality. That's all. So these are the four qualities, okay? Now, even though we have that the key with us, we are sitting on the key and we are looking for liberation. The bird is sitting on the key and looking for the liberation. You have to work, you have key for liberation. Because from outside, people are knocking the door. From inside, we have to open it. So the lock is inside only, not from outside. The people are knocking it. Open your opens. We are telling you open, you open. Hey, we have to only knock, that's all. You have to open from inside. In the same way. So we have to open from inside to get liberation. Okay? You just leave it. Now, the second topic, Tattva Viveka, we will take up this tomorrow. Okay? So today we have completed the fourfold qualifications of the student. Slowly we will develop. By God's grace, we will get it. Don't worry. So I don't have mind control, sense control, Shraddha, nothing is there. How can I continue? Continue. Slowly we will get. God selected you to study Vedanta. Start. It's his job to bless us to get the value. Slowly we will get it. Don't worry. Okay? So this we will see tomorrow. I'll learn tomorrow topic. Don't see this, okay? And today's question, a simple question. So Raji Prakash asked this question. Yesterday you mentioned that jnana is pradhana, bhakti and karma are also there. When jnana stop, bhakti karma also is there. Okay, you are right. Okay, when jnana is there, yes. Yes, bhakti and karma also is there. Jnana, okay, jnana. Bhakti and karma. I'm assuming that when karma is pradhana, bhakti and jnana also is there. Yes. So elaborate how bhakti and jnana play a role in karma yoga. In karma yoga. Okay. So what we have to understand that when jnana goes up, okay, when jnana goes up, we have bhakti and karma also. Because our nature of the personality is jnana pradhan. So my nature is I ask more question, I think more. Therefore, I can understand in my personality. So I am more inclined with jnana. You understood about yourself. What that? And some people, they say bhakti. The same family. So suppose husband says that. I am jnana pradhana. So Amma says that I am bhakti pradhana. If you are jnana, I am bhakti. So I am bhakti pradhana. She does more puja, japa, everything in the whole. It doesn't mean that she cannot understand Vedanta. She knows Vedanta. but her inclination towards bhakti is more. So she's practicing bhakti. Okay. When bhakti comes up, they have knowledge and the karma also is there. She's doing all kinds of activities, going to office, doing all homework also. And she understands what is Vedanta, but she's more bhakti oriented. This man is more knowledge oriented. He also does puja and he also goes to office doing all the things. So when bhakti comes, all this are little low. When jnana goes up, these are little lower. Is it okay? But in Karma Yoga, elaborate how bhakti and jnana plays a role in karma. So Karma Yoga is a helping unit to get bhakti and knowledge. Are you getting it? So karma, his question is, when jnana comes up, these two people are going down. When bhakti comes up, jnana, karma is going down. When karma comes up, his question, when karma comes, what is the role of karma? The karma role is only to clean the mind, that's all. Karma is beginning, okay? Karma marga. So we see this also included in the marga. Actually speaking, the karma is to clean the body, to clean the mind. So Arjuna was asked, do karma without any expectation. Without expectation, when you do karma, your mind will be purified. As your mind is getting purified, you get more and more bhakti, if you are bhakti oriented. Otherwise, when you clean the mind, your jnana is getting more and more. That's all. Okay. So karma role is to clean the patra, to clean the vessel, to get bhakti. And actually, these two are the main the path. The two paths are main. To get this path, to follow in this path, we need to have cleanliness of the mind. So karma is helping us to clean the mind. That's all. When I ask this question, now I am explaining to you. Otherwise, I will not touch this. So I will say a very, commonly what we say, Bhakti Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. So you understand the beginning. You come to next level and you are asking question. Now I am telling, this is not the path. This is the beginning, the process to clean the mind, to follow the Bhakti and Jnana. Are you getting it? Next level only when the question comes, we have to explain. That's all. So this much you have to understand. So the role of Karma Yoga. And the same person asked the Rajiv Parga, how are vasanas and gunas are related? How do they influence each other? Yes. This vasana, body, mind, intellect, the BMI chart you see. So we have developed our vasana janmantareshu. So many janmas we developed vasana. The vasana you have what do you call it? Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. This is a combination of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, all this put together. Okay, here you have Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. This itself is vasana. We have created through our karma. How it is influencing? How do they influence each other? Yeah, this you have to go to 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Because this very big chapter, 14th chapters of Bhagavad Gita is explaining what is Sattva Guna, what is Rajo Guna, what is Tamo Guna, how it is working. The functions of three gunas, how it is functioning, how we should come out of this three gunas are explained elaborately in the 14 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. Please read 14th chapter, okay? How to come out? What is Tamo Guna? How to come out? What is Rajo Guna? How to come out? What is Sattva Guna? How to come out? What is three gunas? How to come out of three gunas? Krishna is not appreciating Sattva Guna also. We have to go beyond Sattva. Nitya Sattvasto Bhava, he says. Then afterwards, Nistari Gunyo Bhava. You have to cross the three gunas. Is it okay? Vasana is none other than all these three gunas put together. So our task is remove the vasana means what? Remove three gunas and go beyond this, attain Atma. That's all. Is it okay? So we have to work to get the Sattva Guna. Morning 4 o'clock we get up. 6 o'clock again we sleep. More Sattva or Tamas? Tamas. I don't know, is this Tamas or Tamas? Tamas has come from Tamas only. I do not know. Just a suggestion. Tamas. When you get up 4 o'clock, you should not sleep. Then we are slowly attaining Sattva Guna. Otherwise, some people, with the inspiration, they get up at 4 o'clock and start sleeping throughout the day. Tamas. 4 o'clock you get up, take bath and do 1 hour puja japa, then the whole day you're sleeping. Tamas. We should break it and how to come out. How to break tamas and how to come out. So Rajoguna. From Rajoguna, how to go to Sattoguna. Krishna says slowly how to move, Arjuna. From immediately from tamas, if you jump into Sattva, you will fall on the bed. Drowsiness. You have to break it. How to, first you move from tamas to rajas. Be first very active. From that active, the mood you can go to sattva mode. Slowly how to develop. But our, the thing is, immediately I have to become like Arnold. Bring all kinds of the setup you make in your home, other the underground, basement. All equipments we bring. The body is very lean. And I want to become world popular personalities, bodybuilder. Only 2 days. Afterwards, we lock this basement. Thousands of dollars we spent to bring the setup. So we will open only during Ayudha Puja, Navaratri day for Puja. Then you clean this Puja. Then afterwards, only 1 day you do practice. So you have to practice from tamas to rajas, rajas to sattva. Slow, very slowly. All the Vedantic way of life, slowly, we have to get rooted in that. Slow process. No need to become. So now the interns decide to get moksha. Tomorrow you have to get moksha. Next week ahead. That is meant for a high type of students. We are not very high class students. Very ordinary. We go very slowly, okay? If you are taking 3 times per coffee per day, now you start taking 2 times. Afterwards, 1 time. After slowly we can reduce. This is what we can do. Immediately tomorrow onwards, I will not take anything, okay? I'm not going. If you stop everything immediately, suddenly you get a mental upset. It's difficult to manage the mind. Slowly, slow and steady, we can reach 1 day. We can have darshan of Paramatma 1 day. Definitely, we will have it, but it takes more time. Okay? This is the answer for this question. And tomorrow we'll see this Tattva Viveka, how to discriminate. Now, tomorrow onwards, the topic is very strong topic and very easy only. Now you understood what is the qualifications. Mind control is very easy to understand. Sense control very easy to understand. Nothing. Single pointedness very easy. Okay, and doing duty, it's a difficult. Okay, I understood, but it's difficult to do duty. Do your duty. Enjoy the duty. Enjoying our duty in the home and the office. This is a kind of sadhana. So sama, dhamma, uparama, titiksha. Titiksha also it's okay. We understand. Mentally we have to accept it. Not exposing the body to a cold climate and heat climate. No. We have to protect the body. And if you have to take the medicine, take medicine. That's all. We should not say I will not take the medicine. Then we have to meet Yamadharmaraja the next week. That's all. We have to take. Endurance means the mental level, how to accept it. But Shraddha is a little tricky kind of value. What we practice to faith outside is totally different. What Shraddha, the faith, the scriptures are talking is different. When you understand Shraddha, you appreciate it. Few values are very challenging value to understand rightly. Other things are very easy only. So tomorrow we are going to take the higher topic. That will be very interesting only. Don't worry, everything is easy to understand. Okay? So one section is over today. Tomorrow we'll take up other section.
Thank you, Swamiji. Hari Om. Thank you, Swamiji.
I have taken little time extra today. It's okay. If you have anything, you can ask then. Otherwise, tomorrow you can shift this question. Huh? Is this easy for you to understand? No, Kashtamalya? Kashtama? No, Kashtama.
Yes, okay. Thank you.
More than understanding the concept, the practicing the concept, we are missing it. I have seen dispassion, the value dispassion, viraga. Viraga without giving attention to anyone, you walk like jnani, showing. Viraga means what? The taste for that enjoyment, we have to drop it. That is called viraga.
Vitaragama.
Vigatara. That. So you can be as you are. So how you are behaving in the world, you can continue that. There's no problem. Everything we have to work in the mind level. So what happens that instead of doing at the mental level, they show everything in the physical the expression. Walk slowly, don't talk with anyone. Viraga means not having attachment. When I talk with other people, I may get attachment. Why you are fearing about attachment? When you sit standard in your mind, nothing will happen. Don't worry. Just move in the world. So maximum intellectual work only here. Vedanta means we are working intellectually. Outside you just live very happily. Ada. I hope you are getting the points. The practical point is very important. Some organizations, I used to go, some spiritual organizations, the brahmacharinis will be there. Brahmachari, in front of, if you see, they will not smile at you. They will walk. you go and wish them. They will not talk. They will not smile. Thinking that spirituality means I should not talk. I should not laugh. I have to be very. So I don't know. I don't know. This is some mental illness. You talk to them if it is needed, then you smile at them. If you want some help, I will help you. All these things should be there when you live with other people. I think you also must have come across this kind of people, spiritual people. Peace means what? So what we understand, peace means without talking anything, but a slow motionly you walk and slow motionly you do all the things. That is called peace. Sir, we should not allow other extra thoughts to disturb our mind. It's called peace. You may be very active on the physical level. You are very active because this is your behavior pattern. You are very active, but your mind is not disturbed by unnecessary thoughts. You maintain peace at mental level. You are a very joyful person. That's all. You're getting it. So what we understand about peace nowadays: walk slowly, take vessel slowly, take this Vim powder and slowly wash. Why? I am a very peaceful person in my life. Oh, what do you want? You take phone also. Oh, okay. Hariom, how are you? Oh. So our understanding of peace is walk slowly, talk slowly, and do all kinds of. That's not. The body has got some behavioral pattern. You do according to that. That's all. Peace means what? Mentally, I am not disturbed by any other thoughts. Oh, Vedanta is very highest text. The problem where the problem comes, our understanding, our practice, there comes a problem.